This is Money Talks.
Hi, my name is Ibukun Oyedeji, President CFA Society Nigeria. Join me and a host of other financial industry practitioners for Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Hello everyone and welcome to Money Talks. Money Talks is brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. It's a financial literacy program. Smart Uzechi is my name. You can call me Captain Smart and that'll be okay. We come here to educate you on financial issues by the CFA. Feel free to call us on the telephone 0700 923 923 923. That's 0700 923 923 923. You can also call 01277 1923. That's 01277 1923. Or you can send us messages on WhatsApp 0817 313 6193. That's 0817 313 6193. You can go to the CFA Society online channels on the website www.cfasocietyng.org or across Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and of course LinkedIn. CFA Society NG. Today our guest on the program is Hadiza Ureigho. Yes, you might be wondering, like I did when I first saw the name, Hadiza Ureigho. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Economics and is a CFA charter holder with over a decade of diversified experience in both customer service and investment risk management within the financial services sector. Her background blends theoretical knowledge with practical experience, enabling her to adeptly address complex financial challenges while prioritizing client satisfaction. Hadiza currently is the investment risk manager at Leadway Assurance. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Hadiza Ureigho. So Hadiza, good evening to you and welcome to the program.
Good evening, happy to be here.
Good to have you. So we're going to be talking this evening, Hadiza and I, how to set up realistic financial goals. How to set up realistic financial goals. So it's the new year now. This is February coming to an end. Do you have financial goals? Are they realistic? You'll find out from Hadiza. When we return from this very short break, remember, you can call us on the telephone and get more details on the program as we proceed.
CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks.
Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Welcome back to the program. How to set up realistic financial goals is our subject of discussion here this evening, and I have Hadiza Ureigho with me to talk about that. Hadiza, very quickly, can I start by asking you, let's just lay the foundation here.
Okay.
Before we can start talking about realistic financial goals, can you tell us what are financial goals? And when we say financial goals, who are we really talking to? Who are they for?
So basically, financial goals are specific objectives that individuals or families, decide to use their money for. And it really can be anything. It can be the fact that, okay, maybe you're trying to save for a dream vacation, you're trying to save for retirement, and you want to be comfortable when you retire. It could be plans for relocation, and, because you need money to do that, you have to set goals, and with clear timelines to achieve that. And basically, financial goals are just for anyone that wants to improve their financial well-being. You know where you are right now, and you feel like you want to be somewhere better in terms of what you've achieved financially. Then you should have goals and set goals.
Absolutely. And you have to also tell us why it is important to do that, because we're talking number one, financial goals. And then the topics are realistic financial goals. So why is it important to set these specific goals financially and then to make them measurable as well?
So it's essential that you have financial goals because it gives you a sense of direction and purpose. Basically, our goals most times are tied to our values, what is important to us. And when you achieve those goals, it gives you a sense of fulfillment, when you achieve those goals. And basically, it helps you to prioritize because life happens, a lot of things happen. You could get distracted along the way, right? But if you're clear about what you're trying to achieve, then it's easy for you to focus, and when you're focused, you can be more productive. And if you're more productive, you're more likely to achieve your goals. So it helps you prioritize, basically.
And I'm sure that there are steps to doing this. So can you tell us the steps that are involved in setting these goals, specifically realistic ones? Because sometimes you talk to some persons, they tell you they want to do 50 million this year.
Okay.
Well, if you check his account, it's 25,000 that is there. So
yes.
Walk us through the steps, to setting these goals and how to also achieve them with timelines, because you don't have forever to do that.
Yes, I agree. So for when you're trying to set goals, right, the first thing is you need to assess your current situation, right? It might not be where you want to be, but as long as there's a goal and there are plans to get to where you want to be, then it's okay to really sit down and take stock of where you are currently. What do you earn? What's your income? What kind of expenses do you have? What are your assets? And by assets, I mean, what do you own? What are the things you own that have value? What are your liabilities? What are the people you owe? That you have like a financial obligation to in the near future. So take stock of where you are currently, and then next you have to be able to set short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. And the idea is, like they say, Rome was not built in a day, right? You want to be somewhere in the next 20 years. What are you going to do between year 1 and year 2 to get there? Those are your short-term goals. It could be really anything. It could just be the fact that you have a high interest paying debt you want to pay off today, and because that would enable you to achieve what you need to achieve in the long term. It could be an item or a gadget or something you want to buy. It can really be anything, but really break those goals down into short, medium, and long-term goals. And then also your goals should be smart. They have to be specific. They have to be measurable. They have to be achievable, realistic, and have timelines. So it's not enough to just say, I want to save money this year. How much money do you want to save, and when? Are you trying to build like an emergency fund, and you just want to have so in case anything you haven't anticipated happens, you have something to fall back on? What is the amount of money you want to save, and is it going to happen in 1 year, 2 years? We have to be clear. You have to really be clear about that. And next, you have to prioritize your goals in the order of importance and feasibility, and try to focus on 2 or 3 goals at a time. Let yourself breathe. Don't get overwhelmed because you have so many goals. You have not so much time to achieve them. You feel like you're under pressure, and at the end of the day you just crumble and you're really not able to achieve anything. So 2 to 3 goals at a time. If 1 to 2 goals is what you can do, please do it. And as long as you achieve it and you have that sense of fulfillment that you have achieved that, it makes you feel better at the end of the day.
So in trying to do this, can somebody just do that all by themselves, or would they need like a professional? Would they need to come to a risk investment professional like you to help them to do that? Or is this something I can just sit back in my room and say, okay, this and this and these are my goals for this year, and I start to pursue them?
I think it's something you have to do yourself. Even if you want to decide to get a professional involved, you have to be clear about what you want. And I don't think anybody can help you do that. And as an individual, you have to be clear about what you want. If you're a family man, a family woman, you get your family together, you decide what do we want to, what are the goals we have as a family, and within the short term, what are we trying to achieve long term. Once you have decided that, and then you maybe need somebody to make the picture clearer and help you work towards achieving it, then you can begin to get people involved in that. but it starts with you, really, basically.
It's Money Talks, reaching you right here. How to set up realistic financial goals is our discussion this evening, and I have Hadiza Ureigho with me in the studio. In case you have questions to ask, you can call the telephone number 0700 923 923 923. That's 0700 923 923 923. You can also call us on 01277 1923. That's 01277 1923, or send messages to us here on WhatsApp 0817 313 6193. In case you have tried to set goals for yourself financially before, maybe you thought they were not realistic, or you have problems along the line, Ada is here to guide you on how to set up those goals, make them realistic. She has said your goals have to be smart. I'll send her the bill for using my name for using my name to do that. So in case you have questions around that, you can ask here by calling those numbers, or you can just go to the website and also leave your questions there. Somebody is going to be talking to you about that. So Hadiza, it's one thing to have all of these plans. You know, people can have plans. They can wake up maybe on the first day of the year and they say, this year, this is what we're going to have. They pray and believe that it's going to work out fine. But then things happen. You know, life happens to people sometimes. So plans, sometimes they don't go as intended. There'll be some clogs right there. How can individuals now do an assessment of their current financial situation and adjust to fit their goals just because life has happened to them?
Okay. So one key thing you even said when you were asking the question is to assess yourself. So at every point in time down the line, you have to assess what you have been able to achieve, and look to see how feasible the other parts of your goals are. For example, someone that had a clear plan as at maybe sometime last year or beginning of this year, and you have said, oh, okay, 20% of my income is going for feeding this year. And I'm sure that you and I know that at this point, at where we are currently, that is not feasible. You have to readjust, right? You have to readjust in terms of what the economic realities are. Review your plans, adjust. And then there are some things you can really, because you can't predict how they will go, you can transfer the risk. I don't want to be too technical here, but transfer the risk. There's health insurance you can buy if you feel like some surprises might come at that expect, and you just want to transfer the risk to a company that sells health insurance. Transfer it. If you need to buy life insurance, if you need to buy motor vehicle insurance, transfer some of those risks, right? So as much as possible, you have taken away the surprises, and then you can then plan clearly for your other medium to long-term goals that you have. Basically, that's it.
But somebody's going to be saying, Hadiza, I'm looking for money. You're asking me to buy insurance, to buy this and buy that. Is it not going to be depleting the reserve that I have, financially?
So one thing I know that a lot of companies have been able to do, because any company in Nigeria that operates in Nigeria has to be versatile. So a lot of them have, found a way to make their products affordable. Maybe not really by cutting the price, but if it's just allowing you to pay, if you were paying yearly for their services, and then you can now pay monthly, you can pay quarterly, so you can take advantage of all of those things, so you don't feel the impact so much on your income when you decide to buy. But it's a very good move, really. So just take away some of those surprises, right? So you can plan more adequately.
Yeah. Avoid surprises on the road. 0817 313 6193 is the WhatsApp number. You can send us a message there. If you have a question for Hadiza Ureigho along the line of our discussion this evening, how to set up realistic financial goals. That's what we're talking about. If you have a question she's willing to answer, send a message 0817 313 6193, or you can call the telephone number 0700 923 923 923 or 01277 1923. Except you're saying, oh, Hadiza is such a wonderful teacher, We understand everything she's telling us, so there's no need for us to ask her questions. I get that part of the show as well. But Hadiza, I want you to give us step by step. That could be as beautiful as what you're saying sounds.
Okay.
I'm sure it's not all a walk in the park, right? There could be pitfalls. I want you to give us now, step by step, the pitfalls people should look forward to avoiding when they are setting financial goals, specifically.
Okay, so specifically, your goals should not be too vague and unrealistic. So a goal as someone that, for example, someone earns 150,000 naira a month, and you're setting a goal to say in the next one year, I want to save 5 million naira. How is that going to happen? Except you have plans in terms of other sources of income that will come in within the year. So, like I said, back to what I had said before, you have to take stock of what your current situation is. If there are plans to improve that situation along the line, it should be clearly written down. If is it that you want to improve your skills, or you want to start a new business so the inflow is more and then you can achieve your goals, you need to be very, very clear about that. Another pitfall is failing to track progress. Really, we should give ourselves the flowers we deserve. So if you're tracking your progress along the line and you, oh wow, I've done so well, I set out to achieve this, I've achieved it, spoil yourself a little bit.
Wow.
Reward yourself, and then before you go on to try to achieve the other goals. So those are the two main pitfalls.
All right. And then how can people now deal with these challenges so that they can overcome them?
So challenges will always come as the going gets tough.
The tough gets going.
Yes. So to face those challenges, you have to be disciplined. You really have to be disciplined. I had said before that most of the times your goals are founded on your values. What do you believe in? What do you care about? What drives you? If your goals stem from your value, it's easy to be disciplined because you really know where you're going. You know where you want to be in 10 years. If there are distractions along the way, it's easier for you to focus if you know where you're going. So you have to really be very clear about what is really driving. What's driving you? What's driving your goals? And then if you know that, you will be able to overcome challenges. If you have taken stock of where you are and what you're trying to achieve and you know it's not realistic, please don't pressure yourself. Don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. It's okay to readjust and give yourself more time to achieve your goals.
Okay, let's start talking about, like you talked about transferring the risk right now. Okay. People set up goals, like the situation in the country now. I'm not sure many people saw this coming like 6 months ago, right? And now people have goals, and most of these goals are geared towards the finance has to be there for you to be able to set this money aside and all of that. So when people have goals, they think they want to achieve a certain thing, but maybe inflation has eroded their finances, they can't even feed, let alone setting money aside to buy whatever it is. People who have a desire and they don't have the finances to back them up, how do they deal with that?
Okay, so some tips I would say is, for example, a lot of us have money in our current accounts, right? And it's just sitting down there. It's not earning any interest. Inflation is on the rise, heading towards 29, and even people, analysts forecast that it would even hit 30 at some point. And you just have money sitting down there. Ask your bankers. There are high yield interest savings accounts. Let the little money you even have today begin to work for you. It might not match inflation, but at least it should, bring in something to help cushion the effect of that. Then another thing is, even when you do all of this, you would now have to take a step back and take a hit on yourself by saying, I need to readjust my lifestyle. If I've been eating out 3 times a week, or I've been eating out 5 times a week, this is the time for me to sit at home and cook my concussion rice this is time for me to, I'm spending too much on entertainment, non-essentials. At this point, I think I need to focus my resources on the essentials I need to survive. Let's survive first. When we survive, then we are alive, and we're in the right shape to meet the rest of the goals. So readjust your lifestyle. Unfortunately, that's the situation that we really find ourselves in now. Readjust your lifestyle and spend more on the essentials: shelter, food, water, your health, really, and then the rest of them can take the back seat for now.
How to set up realistic financial goals is been the subject of our discussion right here with Hadiza Ureigho. We still have a few minutes before we leave the studio. The numbers to send your question to is 0817 313 6193, or you can just put a call across to 0700 923 923 923. That's 0700 923 923 923 to ask questions of Hadiza. 012771923 is also available. When we return from this break, we'll take that call and then we can wrap it up with Hadiza.
Money Talks.
Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Welcome back to Money Talks. Smart Uzechi is my name. Hadiza Ureigho has been my guest on the program this evening, and we have been talking about how to set up realistic financial goals. That's what Hadiza has been lecturing us about all evening right here. So Hadiza, these will be my final questions to you on the program this evening. We've been talking about how to set up these goals and all of that, and somebody might just be asking, Hadiza, who is this for? Who are you actually talking to? Are you talking to people of a particular class, people of a particular financial educational background, or is this for everybody?
This is for everybody. It's not about class, it's not about educational background. I know that everybody, most people get up in the morning and they're working towards something. It doesn't matter who you are. And if you're working towards something, if there's a way for you to improve your financial well-being in the process, then this talk is really for you. It's for everybody. If I say take note of speaking about taking note of your income, taking note of your expenses, a lot of people might have different ways to go about that. Some people have budgeting apps that they use. Somebody might just sit down in his or her house and use his or her pen and paper and just write down, okay, this is what I spend every month. It doesn't have to be sophisticated, really. So it's for everybody, for everyone.
And finally, some persons might just say, Hadiza, beautiful talk, sweet in the ears. You've taught me this evening. But the person will say, if I get money, if I get money, I'll do this. And Hadiza is saying, because some people they are afraid to walk up to their bank to go and say they want to invest. They'll ask you how much. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Thank you so much for calling. Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is James Kablail. I'm calling you in Lagos State.
All right. Okay, speak to us quickly.
Yeah. In a situation whereby you want to get something for yourself, like in terms of you want to plan for long-term investment, and then all of a sudden things are not happening like this, and then you check around, people are plenty that are looking up to you, like as a family person. You are there for us. Come around, come and help us, help my brother, help my this. And in that same situation, you never go to for your education. With good secondary school certificate, but you never see where to for your education, and you still have plenty of people around. And you're still enough to get some property. You can get some 2 or 3 lands. You're kind of confused. Like, I like the program you people are communicating about it. So how would you start it? This hardship now, and you get some land that you will not go to tell people that come, this is somewhere you can sell land. No, land is something that it will take some 3, 4, 5 years to sell it back again.
All right, thank you. I think we got it. Basically, I mean, all his life he's been helping people. So how do you balance helping people and setting financial goals? That's basically what he's saying right there, very quickly.
Okay, so it goes down to what you budget, right? It's okay to say no if you are not able to accommodate that need at that time. You can say to them that, I don't have this within my budget for this month, but I could look towards, helping you or putting this into my budget for the next month or for the month after that. Like I said, it goes back to what your values are. I'm a firm believer that you put your money where your heart is. What you believe in is really what you spend your money on, or what you love is really what you spend your money on. So it's okay to say no if it's not within your means and it's not something you can achieve without letting yourself, without really, putting yourself in a spot where you can't even provide for yourself and your family. Because the thing is, if you go down while trying to accommodate some of those people's needs, then who helps them tomorrow if you're not there? I'm sure they will find somebody else. So it's okay to say no at some point.
Thank you very much. Hadiza Ureigho is the investment risk manager at Leadway Assurance, and she's been talking to us today about how to set up realistic financial goals. Hadiza, thank you very much for coming on the program this evening.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. And that's our time. Join us again next time. Have a good evening.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Money Talks, hosted by the CFA Society Nigeria. Stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and YouTube at CFA Society Nigeria. Follow us for more financial insights and updates. Keep a date with us next time.